Boom. And we're back. We're all going to make it episode 13, I think. Today we're going to talk about time blocking and time management. These are not my concepts. I've just adopted them and changed them a bit from a few people that have shown this to work really well. So I'm going to give you a quick explanation about how I lay out my schedule for day, week, month. And I've been doing this for a little while now. It seems to be really useful. I am a fractional CMO, so I work with multiple clients at the same time. But I think this can even work in a corporate environment where you have to be judicious about your time and not let too many people suck you into meetings and be effective. So I want to talk a little bit about the structure that I put together for each day and that I use for each week and month. So my day always, because I have little kids and a busy job and a life outside of work, I have to exercise before the workday starts. So I try to block out time before the sun rises to get that in. It is not really, I do not like it, but it's my only option. So first exercise, and then something personal. Usually I'm taking kids to school or, doing that kind of thing. So that's before the workday starts. The first thing that I do every day, and I always block this time out well in advance, is I try to do 30 minutes of daily prep. So I think about what are my personal and professional goals for the day, maybe just one of each. If you have multiple clients or whatever, you may have multiple goals for the day, but these are like the things that absolutely have to get done. In that daily prep, you may use something like Notion or Monday or some project management tool to ensure that all your tasks and projects are visible to you in terms of what you need to accomplish for that day. But that 30-minute focus block of time to start the day, phone off, Slack off, no interruptions, pen and paper if you have to, just get it sorted out so you know what you're going to do. This part of the process is really important too, because as I talk about in a second, you've got time blocks that are blocked out throughout the day that are focused on deep work, which just means really focused and intentional work on a specific thing that also is done without distraction. So by ignoring messages, turn off your phone, etc. This is very focused time. You will have more time later to address those things throughout the day. So the overall schedule throughout the day looks like two or three deep work blocks before lunch. I tend to, and I'll show this in a second, but I tend to, once I've actually gotten into the day and I start planning it, I'll cut that deep work section into multiple blocks depending on what I have to accomplish. But I tend to block out almost all of my time before lunch, theoretically, on work that's hyper-focused, and I give it my full attention. Lunch is split up into two blocks, eat and then walk. I find it very refreshing and a great way to get my head back in the right spot to jump back into work at the end of the day, or back half of the day by taking a walk after I eat. It's also really good for you, get out there, turn the phone off, listen to the birds. Then the back half of the day is I attempt to reserve specifically for meetings with one deep work block coming out of lunch. This is not always the way it works in practice because, like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Sometimes meetings happen earlier in the day. But my goal this year is to try towards the middle and back half of the year to structure my calendar so that this is exactly how I follow each day. I'm going to have to work with my clients to reschedule things and reschedule recurring calls. But my goal towards the summer and later half of the year is to actually have every day look exactly like this. No more than 3 hours of meetings, and ideally less, and then multiple hours of deep work and focused work. And then the end of the day is daily recap. So I look back and make sure that the daily prep that I put together, I actually accomplished those things. And if I didn't, I got to re-migrate them to another day, manage my task management system, but also make sure that I'm documenting everything that I accomplished that day. Clients need, feedback on what you got done for them, blah, blah, blah. So you got to document. So in reality, when I look at my real schedule, so this is this week. This got real janky and beat up, and I am going to have to really work to be successful this week. But when I look in the future, so this is next week, I've time blocked it out to the best of my abilities. And what you can see is I've got one client with a lot of meetings. They're all occurring in the morning. My goal long term is to move those to the back half of the day so that I've got all deep work in here. But the thing I want to call out, you can see daily prep and deep work on here. These are time blocks that are in the future that I don't yet know what I'm going to do with them. So when it comes to the actual day and I'm doing my daily prep, I'm like, okay, this client, I need 2 30-minute time blocks to work on 2 specific projects. So I change that deep work time block to be very specific. I'm going to work on this specific thing for 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So I start to migrate and reallocate the focus for those times. But the key here is that I'm looking a week into the future and I'm blocking things out and saying I need to make sure I have X amount of deep work hours, and then I have X amount of available hours for meetings. This has been super useful for me so far. I'm going to continue to lean into it throughout the year, and we'll report back more, but I think time blocking is a really effective use of your time. I think there's probably some great books out there and all that jazz. Google it if you want, but this has been your tip for the day. So again, as always, if you want to talk marketing with me, 30 minutes free marketing consultation, link in this post. Thanks. See ya.